Hello everyone, welcome to Pepcoding. So in this video we are going to discuss another problem of our stack module, which is minimum remove to make valid parentheses. So firstly we discuss the question, then we move to our approach. So in this question what they are giving a string s of brackets, opening brackets and closing brackets and lower cases English characters. So what we have in string? In our string we have opening brackets, closing brackets and a, b, c, d. Or we can say the string is a opening bracket, b closing bracket, c, d opening bracket, e closing bracket, like that. Or we can say there is any other opening bracket like this. This is the string which they are given. Okay. Now your task is to remove the minimum number of parentheses. This opening or closing doesn't matter, so that the resulting parenthesis string is valid, and return it. So what they are saying, let's suppose we have a, firstly I'm telling you about what is valid or which string and which is invalid. Let's suppose we have a, b, c, d. So we have equal number of opening and equal number of closing brackets, so it's valid. Doesn't matter equal, we have, like for this one we have its paired closing one, and for this one we have its paired closing one, so it's valid. Doesn't matter, so for that doesn't matter, we have number of parentheses equal or not. Let's talk about invalid string. This is valid. Let's suppose we have a string a, b, c, bracket, writing it again bracket c and bracket d and bracket. So this is invalid because we have an extra bracket. This one is extra bracket, so it is invalid. Now according to question, what they are saying, we have to remove minimum brackets to make it valid. So we are removing this one. If we remove this one, it's become valid, because for 1 1 2 2, for closing in opening 1, closing 1, opening 2, closing 2, so this is valid. I hope you understand which is invalid and which is invalid and valid, and what we have to do in this. Now in case of multiple valid strings, give persistence in keeping innermost parentheses. Okay, so what they are saying, let's suppose we have a, b, c bracket, d bracket. So we have 3 opening and 2. So if we remove this one, our string become valid. Let's see here. A, b bracket, b, c and d. So it's become valid. If we remove this one also, a, b, c and d, it's also become valid. Or if we remove this one, a, b, c, d, so it's also become valid. In this we are removing 1, in this we are removing 1, in this we also removing 1. If we remove this one and this one, it's also become valid. Let's see here, a, b, c and d. We remove 3 here, 3 braces. Or if we remove all these, it's become valid. You can see here a, b, c, d, so 5. But in the question what they are saying, we have to remove outermost, like we are outermost this one, and minimum. If we remove these, like, so this one is the best for this, but the main is this one, because in this we are removing outermost. If we remove 3, it's become validate, but we are removing 3. In the question what they are saying, we have to remove minimum. And also they are saying we have to give persistence to inner one, we have to give persistence to innermost, so we are removing from the out. So that's about the question. Now we find out what we have to do in the question. Now we are discuss how we can do that. So before that question, in the previous questions we do a question which is similar to that question, minimum add to make parenthesis valid. So that question is similar to that one. We are using that same similar algo in this one, but slightly we are doing some changes. If you didn't watch that question, please go and watch that question so that you can easily understand this question. So I'm making a stack here. Now we have we have a string A, B, C and D here, C also D here. Okay, and I'm adding one more here. Instead of this, I'm adding this here. Now we know when we have opening bracket, we are push that in our stack, and we are closing bracket, we are pop from the stack. When it's opening bracket, we are pushing in stack, and we have closing bracket, we are popping from the stack. Okay, now let's see here. We have this one, this is invalid, we don't add this, so this is invalid, we migrate it as mark at it as closed. Now we have opening bracket, then opening bracket, then closing one. So when we have closing one, we pop it out, then we have opening bracket, then closing bracket, then pop it out. So we have two types. This one is invalid, and also out of these three, we don't know these two, which one is valid and which one is invalid, which one we have to remove. We have, for that we get best invalid string. So for that, what we are doing for dealing with this problem, what I am doing, I am creating a character array, and in character array, what I am doing, I am adding all these string characters like A, here A, bracket B, bracket C, bracket D and bracket, and giving them unique index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can easily find out which one is valid and which one is invalid. Okay, and instead of adding these brackets, I am adding their stack, their indexes, so that we can easily find out which one is valid or which one is invalid. So that our problem is solved by using this. So when we start with 0, closing bracket, so this is invalid, marked as invalid. Opening bracket, we add it. Instead of adding this, what we are doing, we are adding its index 2. Then we have B, then we have opening bracket again 4, then we have opening bracket 5, sorry, this is C. So we have closing bracket, so we pop it out 4, then we have again opening bracket 6 at 6, so it's 7, then 9, then closing, then at the 9 we are opening closing bracket, so we pop it out 7. So we find out this one is invalid, so we mark it invalid. So we can remove these, or we can replace with them. If we remove, we don't have any type of removing rights in array because it's a continuous memory allocation. So instead of removing, what we do, we know in our string we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G at like lowercase English alphabets and opening bracket and closing brackets. So I am taking a dot as a flag. If we find out invalid one, what we do, we marked it as, we replaced it at dot, and when we are printing it or we are doing some returning it, we neglect these from the array. So we get A, bracket B, bracket C, D, bracket D and bracket. So this is our appropriate I forgot this one is array, but let's suppose this we don't have this one. Okay, I'm removing and writing it. Let's suppose I am taking this as an example. So I'm taking it this one. Okay. Okay, so this is valid. Sorry for that. Okay, the example is right. These are two valid, invalid. So we mark that invalid and we add this in our, instead of this one, what we are doing, we have valid. Now this is our valid string. So I am again repeating what I am doing here. I'm creating a character array. In that array, what I am doing, I'm adding all the characters of the string and giving, and so that each and every have their unique index. Okay. Now when we have opening bracket, instead of adding opening bracket, I'm adding their index in the stack, so that I can easily find out which one is valid and invalid, which one is valid and which one is invalid. When we find out these are invalid, what I am doing, I am replacing them with dot, and when I am returning this string, what I am doing, I am neglecting these dots. So let's move to our editor and write our code. Here, firstly, we are creating a character array. So char ch, which is our character array, is equals to s dot to char array, because Java have inbuilt function character array. Now here is dot. Now I am creating a stack of integer type, because integer type st new stack new stack. Now I start iterating in character array. I is equals to 0, I is less than ch dot length I plus plus. Now I am checking if ch at I is equals to closing bracket, oh sorry, opening bracket. Then what we do is simply st dot push I. You can see this thing here. When we have opening bracket, I am adding pushing its index in the stack. Now else if ch at I is equals to closing bracket. So what we do, firstly we check if st dot size is equals to 0. Then what we do, we marked it as a invalid, because if the stack size is 0, let's suppose stack size is 0 here. Okay, size is 0 and we have closing bracket, so we mark this invalid. Same thing I am doing here. Else, in else part, what we do, st dot pop here. Okay, now we are writing this in a for loop. So all, it's check for all the things, all the characters, or for the whole length of the character array. Then we have to check another condition. Here another condition is that sum of left, like here 2 is left in the stack, so this is also invalid. So we have to mark it as invalid. For that, what we are doing, if st dot size is greater than 0, then ch at st.pop marked as is equals to dot, marked it as invalid, and at the last what we are doing, we are creating a string builder sb new string builder and for loop char c at ch and check if c is not equals to star or dot, sorry, dot, then sb dot append c. What we are doing here, at the last when we are returning the, we have abcd, so we are neglecting stars, dots when we are returning it. So same thing I am doing here. At the last, return sb dot to string. Now I am repeating again what I am doing here. Firstly, I am taking a character array, storing all the characters of string, then create an integer type stack and start iterating from 0 to length of the character array, and check if it's opening bracket, directly push in its index in the stack, otherwise it's closing bracket. Check if the size is 0, mark it as invalid, otherwise pop from the stack. Then check if the size is 0 or not. If the size is greater than 0, start popping it out and mark all them invalid. At the last, I am creating a string builder sb and checking and adding the characters from the character array to this string builder and checking is it's dot or not. If not dot, add them in the neglecting dot and adding them in the string builder, and the last returning it here. You can see we are returning it. Now I'm trying to run it and seeing is there any error or not. So we get abcd as our output for this one. ABC opening bracket, AB opening bracket, C and closing bracket D. And in our input, what they are saying, A bracket B, C, D. So for this one, we have to remove this bracket. So we remove this and get this one. So that's right for this. That's in our simple input. Output, what they are saying, given. They are giving A, B same input and get same outputs in simple output. We get this one, trying to submit it. So it passed all the test cases, 7 out of 7. Then running time is 0.059, memory taking 10.28 KB and 50% faster than others. So that's all about the video. If you have any doubt, please write in the comment section, like the video and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching the video.